The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
This week on Wardens.
I talk to a lot of people, and I get lied to a lot too, if you can believe that.
Michigan conservation officers patrol during the opening day of firearm deer season.
Who put the bait out earlier this year? Be honest with me.
And the DNR offers an opportunity for some kids to experience the outdoors on the lawn of the state capitol building.
Let's go save the world!
Wild animals and wild places. They're more than a picture. They're inspiration, excitement, and adventure. Patrolling and protecting these natural resources is a first-class band of peace officers. These are the Wardens, dedicated to the preservation of our great outdoors. Firearm deer season is an extremely popular time for both hunters and conservation officers to spend a lot of time outdoors in Michigan. The weather is typically cool without being extremely cold, and the rut is in full swing. Opening day is like Christmas morning to many, with a lot of families gathering to hunt together like others might for a holiday meal. Schools are closed in many communities to provide students the opportunity to go hunting. In District 6, Officer Mike Haas is beginning his firearm opener by checking on some areas where he spotted illegal bait in the weeks leading up to opening day.
I don't think he's out here. These look like yesterday's tracks. This is where all the sugar beets were, but they ate them all. They've been here the past couple days because they had another folding chair here with some garbage, and that's gone.
With no activity at the blinds that he's already aware of, CO Haas returns to his patrol truck to find hunters to which he can talk. While he's driving, he encounters a hunter along the road. At first, Officer Haas wonders if this man is trying to find a blood trail of a deer he shot. That's not the case, though.
Trying to find where my pop-up, I had it strapped down to that wagon.
Okay.
And
you think it blew away, or somebody, no footprints, nobody took it or anything?
There was footprints out there, but I don't know if...
So somebody maybe took it, or what?
I'm thinking so.
Oh, man. So, well, you got your license on you quick? I'll check.
It's in my bag on my trailer.
Okay. Well, we'll go out there quick. And sure. What are you gonna do now? Just tough it out and sit on the trailer?
Yeah,
or?
that's what I've been doing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too bad. Do you usually do pretty good out here?
Yeah. I haven't been able to hunt in 3 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Back injury.
Had
surgery, so.
Okay.
It's my first time in 3 years, so.
And then somebody comes and takes your blind.
Yeah.
What the heck? So there either was evident human prints?
Oh, there was prints out here.
You think any issues in the past with neighbors or other?
No.
Well, that would have been nice to keep the wind off of you today, huh?
Yeah. My father-in-law was going to come down with some hay bales.
Oh, okay.
So we're
good.
Gonna set them up.
There you go. Any close shots this morning nearby, or?
One over in the woods.
Okay. Yeah, you got the whole accordion here. You're ready.
Oh, yeah.
So anything that walks by, you're shooting. Are you a big buck hunter, or are you going to shoot at any buck you see?
Up here, if you don't shoot at anything you see, you're screwed.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's nice in Isabella County this year too. You can shoot any size buck you want, and that makes you happy. So, well, I'll get out
down home.
Where?
Jackson County.
Okay. Yeah.
Enum County.
Yeah.
I kind of wait for.
Yeah. There's nice big ones down there.
I have one in my backyard that I've been watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's footprints coming down the.
What a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad.
With me not being able to find it, I'm guessing somebody took it.
I would agree, unfortunately. Yeah. Whether a neighbor, like, he's not getting my deer, or just some stupid kids, or who knows what. But
family.
Is it? So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Family there.
Huh. Maybe just somebody needed a blind.
Maybe.
They needed it more than you, I guess. I don't know.
It's opening day of Michigan's firearm deer season. That typically means a lot of hunters will be in the woods, and conservation officers will be extremely busy. It's a day that both hunters and COs look forward to with excitement and anticipation. As Officer Mike Haas continues his patrol during the Firearm deer opener, he runs into a hunter that shot 2 deer.
I'd ask you how you did, but it looks pretty good. Where are you taking them? Just to the road? Or?
Yeah, my car's over there.
Just gonna take them to the edge of the road?
Yeah. I got some buddies down the road. So.
Okay, no, I can help you drag. Yeah, if you're. Sounds like you're breathing pretty heavy there. So.
Whew, it's working, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. He's a nice, healthy-looking deer.
Officer Haas helps the man drag one of the deer from the field to the road.
That's the 6th buck I've seen this morning already.
Couldn't get a shot at the other ones, or?
Early.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then I couldn't get him to stop.
Hands are slipping. How come you got the small one? Wait a minute. Make me drag the heavy one. Well, cool. Congrats. Yeah, perfect. So you're still legal to go.
Yep.
Well, good deal. Well, cool. Catch your breath. Me too. And then,
Thank you, man.
yes, sir.
With opening day being such a popular time for hunters to head to the woods, virtually every conservation officer in the state is on patrol. In District 1, CO Jeremy Sergey spots a hunter and heads towards him to talk about his morning sit.
Seen anything good this morning?
I didn't see anything.
Nothing, hey?
No.
Oh boy. Talked to one guy already. He got a 9-point this morning.
Nice.
Yeah, right at sunrise. So other than that, that's about it. Has your gun unloaded?
No.
Okay.
I unloaded for you if you want me to.
Either unloaded or if you just point it somewhere where it's not going against my leg. Have you heard any night shooting at all in the area?
We had nothing here.
Okay. Okay. I did get a report of some night shooting on the state land just north of this property. And I wanted to see if you heard anything about it.
No.
Okay.
I don't live here. I'm from Wisconsin, so.
What part of Wisconsin?
I live in Green Bay, but I got a cabin in Wasaki. I was raised in Wasaki, so.
Okay. You gonna hunt here and then until the opener in Wisconsin?
Maybe a couple of days.
Maybe a couple.
Yeah. I sat in that shack over the hill there.
Sure.
It's got cold, so I thought I'd come out here and get a sandwich.
Yeah. There you go. I'll just take a quick look at your license and I'll be on my way. Okay, perfect. Just make sure you keep this on you, okay? When you're out there. Thank you very much, sir.
See ya.
You have a good day. Yeah, just gotta watch that. We get bladed with people's muzzles a lot out here. Just try to make sure either they have it pointed in the safe direction or unload it.
I'll be in the county.
Sometimes you gotta remind them.
Next, CO Sergey checks out a couple of vehicles that appear to be those of deer hunters.
The last sticker he had for Michigan was a 2009.
Back in District 6, Officer Mike Haas is patrolling in the early afternoon and notices something odd in a driveway as he passes by it. He stops to investigate further. The truck parked in the driveway has a gun case that has been left open on the tailgate and a bag of sugar beets in its bed.
Looks like sugar beets right there. Could be hunting from inside. How you doing, sir?
Hi, how you doing?
Is that your empty gun case out there? Or?
Yes.
Okay. You hunting from the house or?
No.
Oh.
No, I come back this morning from hunting. We're getting the boys ready. I got to take one to a birthday party here
Okay.
at 2, and we're gonna, once he gets done, we're going to Pinconning, my sister's.
Oh, okay. That's where my parents live, up in Pinconning. But any luck this morning or?
No.
Okay. Well, I saw that what caught my attention was the gun case and the bag of beets, right?
Oh, yep.
Because you know the baiting rules.
Right, yep.
So where are you baiting?
Huh?
So where are you baiting?
Well, I was thinking about baiting, but.
So what about the sugar beets right here in the yard?
The ones out here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was, right there.
So were you hunting here, or were you really hunting somewhere else? Were you hunting here, or were you hunting somewhere else?
I was hunting somewhere else.
So you just watch them here, or it's a,
Yeah, it's just.
or is it a target opportunity if a deer happens to walk by? No. All right. So you didn't shoot any deer this morning though, or okay? You got your tags and all that good stuff. If you got your license handy. Yeah. Nobody got a deer this morning? How many of you guys were hunting?
No, just 2.
Are you baiting on his property?
No.
Because you could get him in trouble, you realize, right? As a property owner.
Well, yeah.
So.
No, and I'm not, and unfortunately he passed away. His
Okay,
wife was
okay,
alive, so.
okay.
There's
So
my-
you do
that's
got your
my- that's my
tag. So.
son's stick.
Oh, okay.
He was right.
Well, where's your gun then?
Guns in the house.
Okay, I had to see the empty case right there. So what it looks, this is what I'll be frank with you, right? I talk to a lot of people, and I get lied to a lot too, if you can believe that.
Right, well,
So
yeah.
I see beats right here. There's an empty rifle. You got the empty rifle case. So it kind of makes me think that there's a rifle leaning here.
The Michigan DNR wants to provide opportunities for young people to experience and learn more about the outdoors. In an effort to give some kids a chance to do that, they host an event called A Day at the Capitol in Lansing. One big attraction for the youth there is a hunting blind that can be raised and lowered.
This is one of our accessible machines. It's a portable hunting blind that we've got for people that use wheelchairs, people who have trouble moving around. We keep it at one of our shooting ranges so they can practice archery throughout the season with this. And then during the hunting seasons, we loan it out to a couple of the parks. They go out, set it up, and then people have a place to go out and hunt and use it.
This event brings more than 1,200 youth to the Capitol grounds and also creates an opportunity for state elected officials to view the impact of parks and recreation within the local community. On the Capitol lawn, groups rotate through different stations that are set up for them. The accessible devices being used by the children during this event are just a sample of what's available at some DNR facilities around the state.
We've got track chairs, we've got the beach chair that the kids are playing on too back there. A lot of the parks that have those stuff have them listed right on the website.
The DNR is making a concerted effort to ensure that, where feasible, their facilities are accessible to all people, regardless of physical limitations.
All of our shooting ranges are ADA compliant. We've got concrete pathways going to everything. We're just getting those finished up this year. We've got 3 ranges that are getting their concrete finished this year. The rifle ranges, the archery ranges, the trap and skeet ranges will all have the ADA concrete. Our shooting benches at the rifle range all have swivel seats that can swivel out of the way if you need to get a chair or something in there.
All right, let's go save the world!
Conservation Officer Jeremy Sergey is on patrol on the opening day of Michigan's firearm deer season. He's on his way to check a spot where he found illegal bait earlier in the season. A hunter is in the blind at the site that CO Sergey is checking.
What size is your zipper on over here? Okay.
Can you go ahead and open it for me? Okay. How you doing, sir? Why is your cousin's name on it then?
I don't know, because they live like down the road.
Okay. Are you paying him to have him show you where to hunt or anything like that?
No, he owns where we're staying is like that road.
The cabin on the way in, or the main road?
Off what road is the main road? Past
577.
Yeah, there's 2 trailers.
Uh-huh.
And my grandpa lives on one side, and then my uncle lives on the other side. They have 80 acres. That backs up to the state land back there.
Okay. Who baited this?
I have no clue.
You set this tent up?
Yeah.
Who put the bait out earlier this year? Be honest with me. Did you put the bait up?
No, what bait?
Who put the mineral block that was up out here?
I put the mineral block up.
When did you put the mineral block out?
Early.
How early? Don't lie to me because I already got
it was before I came up here, before I went to college.
So when, this summer?
Probably, yeah. Probably the last.
Can you guess like what month?
I'll check my phone. It's probably some back to school like September, so I don't know, August something maybe.
In August?
So, yeah, I'm assuming so.
And when's the legal time you can put bait out?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay. It's not in August.
I'm not from.
I'll tell you that.
Oh, I'm not from Michigan.
All right. Okay, tell you what. Why don't you do me a favor? Can you go ahead and unload your firearm for me, please?
Yeah.
Do you have a concealed pistol license on you?
No.
Okay. No other weapons besides that firearm.
No.
Where'd you say you were from?
The cabin, it's like down, so if you take that trail all the way down.
But originally?
Oh, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah. Okay. All right, then next what I'll have you do is I'll have you come on out and show me your hunting license.
It's November 15th, the opening day of Michigan's firearm deer season, and Conservation Officer Jeremy Sergey has encountered a hunter in a blind where Officer Sergey found illegal bait earlier in the year.
Is it just you out here, or is that second blind still put up down the road a little bit?
Second blind?
Earlier this year, there was another blind just like this one. Just
Yeah,
down
on
the
the
hill.
right side? I don't know whose that is. I saw
Okay.
that.
Okay, I didn't really see it earlier, but what do you have down there for bait right now? Let's go take a look at it.
This hunter has acknowledged that he put the bait out before he returned to college in September.
Do you own that pop-up blind?
That one?
Yeah, you own that one? I was just confused of why your cousin's name is on it and not yours.
I put their name on just so like if anyone asks,
like a familiar name kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Pretty much what's left of a mineral block and okay, not a whole lot though, hey? Is there any more bait besides this right here? Nothing back there?
No, I don't even open the side window.
Okay, I got you. Well, I tell you what, let's run back to my truck real quick. It's just right down here, right on the road. We're just gonna take all that stuff down to the truck.
I'm gonna turn this heater off.
Okay. All I'm doing right now is I'm just taking photographs of it, of the firearm, just to document that you were indeed hunting. Yeah. So basically where we're at right now is you established a bait before the legal time period when you can establish a bait. And now you're hunting over an illegal bait because it was established before the legal time. So we'll go ahead and let's leave this action open. Is there a trick to it? You gotta take the safety off or anything? Okay, there you go.
Officer Sergey takes pictures for evidence, but does not confiscate any of the hunter's belongings.
Okay. You can't hunt over this spot.
Oh yeah, I figured.
So that's you're hunting at this area is over with. Back in September 5th of this year, I found a mineral block and a blind set up on state land. You can't put bait out until September 15th, so I simply documented it. And I waited till deer season to come around so I could see who was hunting out of it. And we were able to walk in today. I found who was hunting out of it, and we were able to obtain a confession that he was the one who in fact put the salt block out, or the mineral block, and he said he put the mineral block out sometime around August, which matches up because around September 5th it was a little beat down from rain. So I'll be writing a report on that and turning that into the Menominee court system.
Officer Mike Haas has encountered a hunter who went home after his morning hunt but left open his gun case on the tailgate of his truck that was parked in his driveway. He also has a bag of sugar beets in the back of his truck. When CO Haas took a look around the home, he noticed a pile of sugar beets in the backyard.
Okay, so you got your tags, that's good. But like I said, for 2 years now in Isabella, you're not supposed to have any food out accessible to the deer. So so right now we got that issue, and like I said, I don't want to have to follow you and go check the other spot. Really, it's a violation. So whether it's here or there, it's wrong. So again, I'm not going to go up there because being opening day, I got a lot of stuff to do. But if there's bait there, you probably don't want it to be there because with the bait fights going on, other officers work in the area, you can get double dinged for different spots. Okay, so I don't want. You know what you're supposed to do. Okay, so that other one, but you got your ID handy too. Yes. And how long you been putting the beets out here then?
Oh, I just put them out here last week.
Just to, like I said, just watching the deer then, or did they find them or at all, or?
I've had a couple out about 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Then of course I'm in bed about 9:30.
All right.
I work at 6 in the morning.
Oh, okay. Honestly, if you would have had your tailgate up, I never would have saw your gun case or the bag of beets sitting there. So.
In this case, for having illegal bait in his backyard, this man pled guilty and paid a court-ordered fine of $300.
If you got bait elsewhere too, don't get caught I mean, shooting a deer over or anything, it'd be smart to pick that stuff up, okay? So, like I said, have a better day and a better season, okay? We realize that deer are very social animals, and you know, there is natural nose-to-nose contact, and there are deer that share the same licking branches and scrape lines and browse the same fields with crops, but it's not very natural to have a pile of sugar beets in the middle of a cedar swamp or behind your house where deer are going to come to congregate right there on that pile of food. And normally the deer would not be there congregating because there's not supposed to be a pile of sugar beets or carrots or apples in the middle of your yard or in the middle of the cedar swamp. So again, anything that us as humans and hunters can do that might slow down that, you know, deer congregating in one area, I don't know why we wouldn't, you know, take those steps and those actions to try to prevent those deer to come into contact more often than they naturally would.
The Fall Salmon Run brings large numbers of anglers to several lakes, rivers, and streams throughout the state of Michigan. With Lake Michigan feeding fish to many inland waters on the west side of the state, those areas have had high salmon numbers for the last several years. In District 4, conservation officers have been working all day on the first Saturday in October. They've already written tickets to several men who were sharing a fishing camp and possessed illegal fish and illegal gear. Now it's after dark, and they're still observing the flurry of fishing activity on the Manistee River.
We're here on the south side of Tippy Dam. Came in from Town Cole, looking across to Tippy Dam State Park on the north side. That's where all the lights are on the far side. This kind of activity goes on 24/7 this time of year for about 3 weeks straight. That's why we bring in extra people to help with enforcement patrols.
After observing the anglers here for just a few minutes, Officer notices one with whom he'd like to have a conversation.
Which one just got strung up? It's over there, right?
Yeah, right there.
How you doing, guys? State Conservation Officer.
How's it going?
Good. You guys just strung that fish up, right?
Yep.
Who was the lucky catch on that one?
Right here.
All right. Where are you from?
Toledo.
Toledo? You familiar with Michigan fishing regulations?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that any fish that's not hooked in the mouth has to be immediately returned to the water, right?
Yeah. That one was hooked in the mouth. It was in the jaw.
No. I was standing right behind you, okay? I wouldn't be contacting you unless I knew what I saw, okay? It wasn't hooked anywhere near the jaw. It was back by the tail, okay? Are you disputing that? I mean, come on.
No. Okay. Yep. And I haven't done anything with it.
Well, it's strung up, so you're in possession of it, okay? Do you have your fishing license and driver's license on you?
My driver's license up in the car.
All right, let's go ahead and grab your fishing license. How many fish do you have?
Just that was the first one.
That was the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
First one I've ever gotten.
All right. You didn't get one last year?
No.
Okay.
Came up, that was for only 2 days. Yep.
All right, so it's just a straight silver cast master?
Yep.
Okay, everything?
Just bought it at the place, yeah.
Okay, all right, everything's good with that. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna write you a ticket for retaining a foul hook fish, okay? All fish that are caught have to be hooked in the mouth.
Right.
Okay, if they're not, they gotta be released.
No, yeah,
okay.
we do the walleye run and stuff. I know.
You got excited, this was your first fish, I get it, I get it, okay. I understand that, I appreciate your cooperation with the whole thing, but you know, about 80% of the fish in this river system are natural reproduction fish.
Okay.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that most of them were actually.
No. So if you look at them, on the fish behind the dorsal fin, there's an adipose fin they call it. Okay. Any of the natural reproduction fish have that adipose fin. So I can just about guarantee every fish you guys have in a stringer over there are going to have the adipose fish. Okay. So if we allowed everybody to keep foul hooked fish,
fish.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I understand they're coming up here to, everybody says, oh, they're coming up here to die. Well, they're coming up here to die, but they're coming up here to reproduce.
Oh, yeah.
And without doing that, we don't have a fishery.
Right. No. So that's to make more for next year.
Yep. Absolutely.
In the same area where Officer is filling out a citation, Officer McNeil is also in the process of issuing a citation.
Restitution goes by weight. It's $10 a pound. Okay. Just so you understand. Nope. totally made my fault. So appreciate it.
It's too cold for fire.
11.
For the ticket that C.O. McNeil issued, this fisherman pled guilty to possessing an illegally taken fish and paid a court-ordered fine of $375, 110 of which was restitution to the state.
Two things that made it illegal. A, it was, hooked in the stomach as we saw it.
Yeah.
And B, you're using a treble hook.
Turn the head upstream so it gets a little bit more water flow through the gills there.
The fisherman that received the citation pled guilty to retaining a foul-hooked fish and paid a court-ordered fine of $350.
Yep. With you being from Ohio, okay, Ohio is part of what we call the Wildlife Violator Compact, okay? And what that is if you think you can just go back to Ohio and say, I'll just never go back to Michigan to fish again, what happens is they issue a warrant for your arrest, and your fishing privileges in Michigan, along with 47 additional states, including Ohio, get suspended until such time this is taken care of.
No,
so
believe me, I come up here and hunt and everything.
The bonus to that, though, is the fact that I don't have to take bond from you. Otherwise, I'd have to take bond from you for being a non-resident.
Oh, true.
Okay,
yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Contact the court, and just make sure they're hooked in the mouth.
Thank you.
All right, man. Pretty classic of what we see down here a lot of times, especially in the cover of darkness. Guys think they can keep fish, and nobody's going to see where it's hooked, and they start loading up stringers or whatever. That was a female, probably already spawned out. You can see it had a white tail, wasn't in the best shape, but nonetheless, had it been a fish that was in better quality shape, they would have kept it just the same. So we treat them all the same.
The Gladwin Field Trial Area is part of a state forest that is operated in conjunction with the Michigan DNR and has a designated field dog trial area.
Atta girl.
DNR staff work diligently to provide the best cover possible for grouse and woodcock in how they manage these grounds.
We manage the habitat here in this 8 square miles for young forest habitat. The major cover type here is aspen, so we manage the aspen. When it comes up on rotation age, we get it cut, and it provides a lot of habitat for the birds. We get good numbers of grouse and woodcock here on the grounds, and that lends itself to field trialing.
The field trial clubs that utilize the Gladwin Field Trial Area work closely with the DNR to ensure that it's well maintained and well taken care of while being used.
The DNR does a wonderful job helping us keep this place, because if it weren't for all this group of people who, we kind of police it a little bit, we kind of make sure everybody takes care of themselves out here, and it's just a remarkable area. It's one of the few places like this in the United States that's still available. Most everything else has been bought up.
One of the events held here is the Lake States Field Trial.
On my left is Ponderosa Mac with Mr. Chafee, and on my right is Wildcat Run with Mr. Eckert. Good luck, guys.
Good luck to you, Robert.
Stop.
It's hosted by the Lake States Field Trial Club.
This club is the oldest one in Michigan, and in fact in the United States there are only 2 others that are older than this club, and that's the Grand and the Pennsylvania Championship.
During a field trial, they run 2 dogs in a brace, and those dogs are in competition with all the other dogs. They're not necessarily in competition with each other. It's there could be from 20 to 100 dogs in a trial, and all of those dogs are broke into braces, so they run 2 at a time over a course.
The ones we do here are on wild birds, which I really, that's what everybody here really likes. There's nothing fake about it. The dog has to go out and find and point the bird and handle it. And what we're looking for is probably the ultimate dog, the dog that has tremendous drive, runs out there at kind of extreme range at times, but still comes back on his own. And they're looking for the power in the dog. It'll be set up kind of, these are some of the dogs that will carry on the breeding for the the whole country, actually.
In the opinions of many who use it and operate it, the Gladwin Field Trial Area is among the best in the country.
We travel all over the country to do these cover dog trials, and in my opinion, there's no other place in the country equal to this. We've got the courses, we've got lots of folks that help out and make the trial run successful, and we have a cutting program that goes on with the state.
The Gladwin Field Trial Area is very special because we do run our trials on native birds. There's not very many trial grounds, if any, in the country that exclusively run on native birds.
Cutting programs is what produces, it's a cover that grouse like and woodcock, so we're just really fortunate here. And like I said, I think it's the finest grounds in the country. And I think a lot of people would agree with me.
It's kind of a privilege for me as a wildlife biologist to have as part of my responsibility the co-management of this special place in field trialing history and tradition, and this special place here in, that happens to be in Gladwin, Michigan.
This conservation officer and Scott McNeil are patrolling salmon anglers after dark near the Tippy Dam on the Manistee River. With a cover of darkness, oftentimes they can observe fishing activity from a close distance. They've encountered a fisherman who's using a lure that's illegal.
See how easy it bends? Oh. It means it's primarily constructed of lead. Okay.
Okay, I didn't know that.
We're not allowed to use any spoons or lures that are primarily constructed of lead.
Okay. Really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
So, I mean,
So don't shop at Walmart?
What's that?
See, the thing is anytime you're using a treble hook or a lure, body bait,
right,
spinner, spoon, okay, what does this do when it goes through the water? Does it spin? What does it do? It just pulls straight through. It's flat. There's no curvature to it. That's flat. That pulls through. It's for the purpose of snagging fish.
Oh, okay. So no, I didn't.
That's the purpose. How many fish have you caught today?
I've caught none.
You haven't caught any?
No.
Is this one of those P-line jigs?
I don't know what this is. I got this from last year, one of the stores up here.
Okay. So back in 2015 is when they made the change as far as outlawing not necessarily these, okay, but there was any lure primarily constructed of lead. Okay, as far as the bait, because there were a lot of locally they were called Turk sticklers or torpedoes, chunk of lead, not painted up, not shined up or anything, just chunk of lead with 2 treble hooks out of it, and they were straight just using it for snagging fish.
Yeah,
okay?
No, I'm not out here trying to snag.
So. And my partner's aware that we were watching. We knew you weren't using it in a matter of like trying to snag.
You can't use those. You can't use this.
Yeah, I actually found these like pulling through that. What about on that side? So
here's the fish.
I mean, if you guys want them, I don't want anything illegal to fish with.
So pretty much everything you have in that box would be legit.
Yeah, that's
okay. Because everything's steel, everything's metal.
Okay. Minnesota, so
okay. So you got a lot of walleye stuff.
Oh yeah, I love my walleye.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
I just snagged these out of the river. So
okay.
If you want these, you can have them. I found them in here. So
I got plenty more for them. So
you don't want them?
No, I don't want them. I don't want anything to get me, in trouble out here. Okay. So
yeah, it's not.
I'm gonna give you a warning on this, all right?
Okay.
I'm just gonna give you a warning on this. Okay. We have your information. I don't want to have to run across you with something like this again, right?
No, you'll never catch me with one of them again.
Conservation Officer Becky Hubers started her day monitoring salmon anglers during the fall spawning run. With so much fishing activity, she anticipated spending her entire shift watching fish and the people pursuing them. But it's early October, and that means several other types of wild game are being pursued by hunters and fishermen. In District 4...
Okay, does he have callback number?
Hey, firm. His number is 231.
Officer Hubers has just received a call to respond to a call from someone who believes they heard someone shooting at waterfowl with unplugged shotguns. After driving to another part of the county, CO Hubers checks out the area where the caller reported hearing the shots. She investigates vehicles as well as truck and foot tracks.
Somebody did leave here already. unless that was them.
She also sees 3 men walking towards her.
Getting rained out?
Yeah, definitely. Come back to camp just now. Of course, there's tracks where.
Yeah, what were the tracks going that way?
What's that?
Well, there's a set of tracks going that way too?
Yeah, they're just going that way.
Oh, they just drove out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
right.
no, deer tracks.
Oh, I thought you meant vehicle tracks.
Oh, no.
All right, licenses? Yep. You get a camp card at all or no?
I got it posted.
Okay, all right. Safety's on that thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there anything at camp I should know about? Are there any deer hanging or anything?
Not yet.
Not yet? Climber stands, you said? Or you got a tree stand?
Got a climber stand.
Okay.
We got a ground blind and 2 tree stands.
Okay. All right. Hi. How are you? Oh, that's all right. Just leave it there. At least it's there. Well, how much bait are on your stands? You got some corn out, obviously.
About 2 gallons.
Okay. Nothing more than that. If I walk back, I wouldn't have to deal with it or anything. You guys are good? Okay. I didn't see anything wrong. All of their licenses were fine. They were very, very nervous talking to me. Their hands were shaking when they handed me their licenses. That's why we went back and kind of did a nonchalant check of the camp just to see if there was anything that was very obvious. Deer hanging, because everybody had their tags. So if there was a deer hanging, someone was missing a tag. I saw some bait on the ground, and I asked them about that, but I'm just curious as to why it's so much shaking. I didn't think I'd make people nervous, but maybe I'm just checking for warrants for the most part, and any issues there, and we should be fine.
Officer Hubers reaches out to dispatch to confirm that the men with whom she just met, and whose names she has written down, don't have any outstanding warrants or other reasons for her to visit them again.
Those gentlemen have a lot of things in their past just based on those files, but there's nothing that prohibits them from being out here camping and bow hunting, so they're not doing anything wrong. I think the shaking is probably because the one gentleman's on probation, and just other guy has an OSC, which is an officer safety caution, so he's had issues with police officers before, either fighting or he's had dangerous crimes. And nobody has a valid license, I don't think. So again, we didn't see them driving. They all had legitimate hunting licenses, and they're doing nothing wrong. So we're good. But that explains their nervousness and behavior.
After working late on Saturday during the first weekend of October patrolling salmon anglers, this officer is back at it the next day to observe the busy fishing activity that frequently occurs during weekends in the fall. To start his patrol, he takes a look at the anglers in the river from afar.
That guy that just lost that fish and his buddy there appear to be throwing some of those lures we were talking about yesterday, as far as the ones primarily constructed of lead with a couple treble hooks on them. So we'll probably make our way around there.
These guys right here, just around the corner, just landed a fish that's hooked right above the adipose fin, just in front of the tail. So I'm gonna slip in here, see if they string it up. Those guys landed a fish that was hooked illegally. It was hooked in the back. They brought it in. They pulled the hook out, took a picture with it, and let it go. Absolutely nothing illegal about that. Number of fish that are in the river using the gear. You're gonna fall hook fish. You land them, let them go. No harm, no foul.
As he continues his way down the river, this CO spots a fisherman who is fishing with an illegal lure.
Keep reeling, crank it in. Reel it in. So the reason I'm contacting you is these lures are illegal. Okay? You're not allowed to use any lure that's primarily constructed of lead, or a lure like this that has the treble hooks permanently attached to it. I did not know that. Okay. I'm going to fill you in on some other regulations here before you get in and start breaking those out. Okay? Spoons like that, anytime you're using a treble hook on these spoons, that treble hook cannot exceed 3/8 of an inch point to shank.
Ooh, that one's too.
I can tell you right now that that's an oversized hook, okay? So before you start throwing those and getting in trouble with them as well. Single point hooks cannot exceed a 1/2 inch. So some of your Johnson silver minnows there, those would probably be cause trouble for you. So what you can fish with would be those right there.
Okay.
Looking in your box, that's about all I see.
In this case, for using a lure primarily constructed of lead, this fisherman paid a court-ordered fine of $285.
Sir, I didn't realize all this, and you go up there to the bait store and they're selling full of this. It's like, we came up here for a long time, but haven't been here for the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Did not know that.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry I broke the rules, so,
Live and learn sometimes, right?
The priorities of Michigan conservation officers are to keep the public safe and to protect Michigan's natural resources. They also want to make sure that everyone they encounter is playing by the rules put into place by the state. Consequently, they frequently spend much of their time checking to make sure that those who are enjoying the outdoors are doing so with the appropriate licenses and permits. In District 5, Officer Charlie Jones is patrolling snowmobilers and others on Houghton Lake during a busy weekend in January. He just noticed 2 ORVs passing. He couldn't see the appropriate stickers on their machines, so he speeds up to chase them down.
What's going on, guys? Good, how are you? Good. Good. The reason I stopped you is I see I got a green sticker on here. Okay, so you got 18. You got a sticker on yours? Okay. All right. All right, that looks good. Sometimes it's just hard for us to tell, especially when you got a green one. Yeah. You know, it's his quad too. Like, yeah. All right, where are you guys from?
We're from Rochester, but we got a place on that.
Okay, nice. You guys gonna be up all weekend, get some fishing in, or are you just gonna cruise around? We just checked out the snowmobiling jumping, and we're just gonna go get some lunch, head back to his house. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, cool, guys. Well, I just saw the green sticker, so
Yeah, no
and then I
problem.
couldn't see yours because it's on top. So, but no, you guys are good. Awesome. All right. Have a good one, guys.
You too,
Be
sir.
safe. Thank you. That red 4-wheeler there. I couldn't see the orange trail permit on the right-hand side. I just saw the green sticker. And then some of the other 4-wheelers, they put the sticker on top, so it's really hard to tell. But that green kind of triggered me to go take a look and see what was going on. So other than that, I didn't suspect any alcohol, didn't really smell anything. So, but they were good to go.
A short time later, C.O. Jones meets a man coming out of his ice fishing shanty.
How you doing, man? Good. Any luck in there?
I just got out here.
Okay. Where are you from?
It's like between Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Oh, that might not be it.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and what's your date of birth? Or you got your driver's license?
Yep.
I can just take a look. Okay. All right. No, you're good. You're
Okay.
all set. How many tip-ups you got out? You haven't put them out yet?
0.
Okay.
I just got out here.
Alrighty. Awesome, man.
Later, Officer Jones sees a man on a snowmobile go past him who doesn't have the appropriate trail permit.
I saw a green trail sticker on here. You not have another sticker or what? No. Your snowmobile?
Yeah.
Okay. So why didn't you get a new trail permit?
I didn't know you needed a trail permit on the ice.
Yeah.
I thought it was different on the.
Nope.
I got one for that.
Yeah, no, you need a trail permit for
I thought
snowmobiles.
it was
So.
just for the trail. I know it's for the ice.
Yep. Nope. It's got to be for the ice. Only if you're ice fishing.
Okay.
You don't have to have one, but that's only ice fishing. So, and obviously you're
I
not ice
bought it
fishing. So.
A few months ago. So.
Okay. You got the registration for it on here too?
I don't know if I have it with me or not.
Okay. All right. Is it in the back or? Because you got to have registration on it as well.
I think it might. I don't know if it's in the back or not.
Okay. All right. Well, do you both have your driver's license on you?
Yeah,
Okay. unfortunately, you're going to receive a citation for expired trail permit, and what I'm going to recommend is go get a trail permit so you're not going to keep getting stopped, okay? All right, just stand by with me. I'll be right with you, okay?
In this case, for not having his trail permit, the snowmobile's owner paid a court-ordered fine of $100.
With the three-wheeler, you need an ORV and a trail. What's the difference in that?
No, if you're on the ice, if you're on the lake, you only need an ORV sticker. But if you're on a designated ORV trail, you got to have your trail permit.
In addition to registering your snowmobile with the Secretary of State, residents and non-residents that operate snowmobiles on public land in Michigan are required to purchase a snowmobile trail permit. The trail permit enables snowmobilers to ride state-designated trails, public roads, and public lands. If snowmobiles are used solely for transportation on the frozen surface of public waters for the express purpose of ice fishing, they are exempt from the trail permit, but must still be registered.
If you get stopped again, that's going to temporarily act as your permit. So, but I recommend just go get a permit.
How fast you go on the side?
What's reasonable?
Depends on people around and stuff.
So what's reasonable? Yeah, what you think is safe. So, okay. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks.
Michigan conservation officers spend a lot of their time monitoring hunters and anglers from their patrol vehicles and boats, but they also work hard to serve their communities in other ways too. During the Christmas season, Michigan COs teamed up with Toys for Tots and Jay's Sporting Goods to collect donations for children.
We're out here in Jay's in Gaylord. We're doing a Toys for Tots donation booth, so we have a drop-off center. So if you have some toys, we have a lot of people braving the snowy roads to come out, and we got a lot of good donations going on. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too now.
Here, guys, go.
Thank you so much. Have a Merry Christmas.
Conservation officers from 2 law enforcement districts were at 2 different Jay's Sporting Goods locations to accept donations over the course of a weekend.
The idea is to stuff a truck full of toys and other goods for underprivileged children to have. In this time of year, especially with everything going on, it's important that everyone has a good Christmas and has something to open up on Christmas Day. So due to the weather, we moved everything inside. The idea was to stuff the actual CO truck full of stuff, which inside we have enough stuff, I believe, at least stuff 1 truck and maybe start on a second. Hi, buddy. Is that a good spot? Yeah, okay, we'll put it right there. Thank you, buddy. Bye. Wherever you want to put them, buddy. Here, want me to make room? Turn that sideways for you. There you go. Many places aren't doing Toys for Tots this year. We partnered with Jay's here to try to do a Toys for Tots for the underprivileged children. Yep, go ahead and put them anywhere. There's boxes you can put them on. You can set them on this stuff, up on a table. That's a good spot right there. Thank you, buddy. Oh, well, thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Just go ahead and set it anywhere. Anywhere, yeah, there you go, perfect. Yes, yep, that's fine. You'll definitely make some kids' dreams there.
Well, we hope. Huh?
Yes, yep. Very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. As a conservation officer, we have to, live in the areas we work. A lot of places you don't have to do that, but we live in the areas we work, and it's important that we give back and show that, we're more about the community, whether it's safety or just the holiday spirit and giving and taking care of our community.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Dedicated snowmobilers rush to the trails and frozen lakes when conditions and weather are right. This bustle of activity keeps Michigan conservation officers busy as they make sure everyone is doing things safely and according to the rules. In Michigan's District 1, CO David Miller is among a group of officers watching a busy trail early on a cold Saturday afternoon.
I'm guessing you have her registration?
I got a truck, I think it's in there.
Just have to match up the numbers. I'm gonna have you move your feet for a minute. There you go. put that in here. Keep it in your sled. You might get stopped again. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, because trail permit just went on this morning because it was so freaking cold the last 2 days.
Yeah.
I was like, at least get up to 20-some degrees so you can put that on today.
I thought it was supposed to be a lot warmer today. They said a high of 27 or 28, and it sure didn't feel like it.
I seen 19, 20.
All right, well, you guys have fun.
Officer Miller and the other officers with him don't encounter or observe any violations while they're checking people on this trail. However, it's still early in their shift. Later in the day, they'll be keeping a trail clear for a sled dog race.
3, 2, 1, and our Comfort Dog 150 is underway.
Between 10 a.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The light conditions are the best at that time without a lot of shadows that impact sightability, you know, when we're looking for moose.
Every 2 years, the Michigan DNR performs a moose survey to estimate the population of the herd in the primary moose region in the western Upper Peninsula.
Moose survey is done with a pilot and 2 observers in the back seat, and we have a primary and a secondary observer that are looking at moose. Our survey plots are basically 2 miles wide by 12 miles long, and we'll fly quarter-mile grids on those surveys. So we'll fly down a quarter mile, then slide over a quarter mile, fly back, and cover that 2 miles, which would be 8 flights on one plot.
The DNR attempts to complete the survey during the month of January. Pilots must make a determination each morning during the month regarding the safety and feasibility of flying based on weather conditions. In 2019, the last year from which this data is available, only 7 days of January's 31 were fit for flying.
We fly low and slow and just try to count. And when we do spot or see any moose, we try to sex ID it and then identify the cover type and the sightability around that moose, the 10-meter area around that moose, percentage of cover around that moose.
Spotting a moose from a plane at 100 miles an hour can be difficult for those that aren't used to it, but more experience brings more success.
It's really hard to find people that can fly, that can spot moose and then ID moose, and it takes a lot of people to pull this thing off, and appreciate all their help. We have volunteers, everything from a school teacher, a sheriff, MDOT mechanic as a volunteer that help with the survey, and along with the DNR personnel.
The Copper Dog 150 is a sled dog competition in which the mushers cover 150 miles over the course of 3 days in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. It has up to 30 teams of 10 dogs each.
It's set up as a 3-day stage race. So tonight we did 49.6 miles. Tomorrow is shortened to 33.6, I believe, because they had to take the backcountry out because of the 30 inches of snow we had, and they couldn't get it groomed. And then Sunday will be 44 miles up to Calumet from Copper Harbor.
In the past week or so, we've had a severe snowstorm blow through with 30 inches of snow, 50-mile-an-hour winds causing 6 to 10-foot drifts on our trail system. So the groomers had to work very hard to get the trails open. But with that, it pushes some of the race course back onto the snowmobile trail for extended periods.
Michigan conservation officers lend a hand during this event.
Our focus today is bringing in some conservation officers from out of the area to assist with the Copper Dog 150 sled dog race. They asked for some safety patrols for us on the trail to be visible, to educate snowmobilers in the area that they may come across dog sled teams on the snowmobile trail system in the evening. So our focus is going to be to educate, be seen, and let people know that there's going to be dual purpose traffic on the trails tonight.
3, 2, 1, and our Comfort Dog 150 is underway.
Most years, the Copper Dog event relies on more than 500 volunteers to hold the event and brings out many interested spectators.
The Copper Dog 150, I think it's in its 10th or 11th year, and it's a very big draw this time of year in the middle of winter. It brings in lots of people to the area. It's good for the economy, it's good for the tourism industry, as well as our trail system. It's another user group that utilizes our snowmobile trails, so we're just going to lend our hand and do our part to assist in a safe event.
I have a couple of dogs that are just 2, and this is their first year racing, so my goal is just to get them through the 3 stages of the race and hope they do it well, and we'll look forward to doing it again.
Straight ahead, Rita, straight ahead.
Right there, girl. Right there.
Michigan Conservation Officer Charlie Jones has been patrolling snowmobilers and ice fishermen on a cold Saturday in January. In the mid-afternoon, CO Jones encounters a group of men who are wrapping up their ice fishing for the day. They've been fishing without a shanty or any other protection from the elements and are rushing to get their belongings collected so they can go somewhere warmer. One of the men is holding a tip-up with its line still in the water.
It was just us 3 that were fishing.
He's got a tip up in his hand, so.
He's just holding it up because we're packing.
Yeah, but he's got it in his hand though, so. He's fishing, right? He's got it in his hand?
We were just packing it up to go in. We've got our names on them and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
They just told them to pick them up and make it go.
Okay, so, but still, you have it in your hand, so to me, that looks like that you're fishing. It doesn't matter if you got your name on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could have all the tip-ups and loan 2 tip-ups to each guy, and then you guys can have 1 jig. So when I see that you're physically fishing, you have a hook, it's in the water, right? So you're fishing, right? Okay. So that's why I'm educating you guys on that, okay?
Okay.
I'll check whoever has licenses now and who doesn't have a license. You don't and you don't. So obviously I didn't see you fish because you're putting a chair away, right? Okay, I'll check the 3 that have a license. That's not a fishing license. Where's your fishing license?
How's that not a fishing license?
That's your donation, $1 donation.
Sorry, that is.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do for you, okay? Usually I'll write a ticket for that. But I know you guys are packing up. Okay, I'm gonna get you a warning on that. You guys coming back out tomorrow?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so if you come out and you're gonna be fishing, go get a fishing license, okay? Simple as that.
Cool.
Good, fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Or anything other, it's okay to be out here with us.
Well, the thing is if you guys got,
Hold this, dude.
yeah, he's gonna get frostbite, dude.
Here.
And that's the thing, because that'd be like you having a fishing pole in your hand and say, I'm not fishing. There's no difference, okay? And that's why it's sometimes better to educate you than just write you a ticket, because I'm not really getting my point across.
Yeah.
So if you are gonna be fishing tomorrow, I recommend go get a fishing license, okay?
Yeah.
And then if you can have 3 lines each, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys can have whatever you guys have with between 3 lines, so. But again, I know it's cold, you guys are trying to get off the ice, so.
As evening begins to fall on Officer Jones and the other officers working the Tip Up Town event, they're still working hard to keep people safe.
So the other officers are still over on the East Bay, and they're going to be working their way over this way. Once actually the fireworks start to happen. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more snowmobile traffic. It's kind of picking up, and it's easier to not necessarily see what's going on, but as you can tell, a lot more lights out here.
Officer Matthew Zoltak has encountered a snowmobiler whose headlights aren't working.
Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm going to just shine my flashlight right here. I'm just going to kind of look real quick, check this one out. And I'm just going to look into your eyes. Okay. What did you have to drink earlier today?
Couple Bud Lights.
Couple? How many did you have, would you say?
2.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the drunkest you've ever been, 1 being not drunk at all, how's that? So you do feel a little bit intoxicated?
No, I don't feel intoxicated at all, but I had a couple drinks, so.
Okay, because I'm getting a faint smell of alcohol, so I just want to make sure. I'm standing right here and I'm just smelling it.
He told us the only guys only had 1 earlier today.
I had 1. I'm proud of. Okay, it's okay. That's fine. Hey, sir, what's going to happen? I'm going to run this. If you want to talk to the officer, you can talk to him by the sled. It's going to take a second. Okay.
Although Officer Zoltak does not find probable cause to pursue a drunken driving case against this snowmobiler, he does want her off the ice as she's putting other riders and herself at risk by driving in the dark without headlights.
Do you have the ability to trailer it somewhere? Because technically I can't even let her operate. I mean, I could go get the trailer.
Go up to the corner right here at the stoplight.
Basically, what I got to ask you to do is because I can't let her operate because she becomes a hazard to other people. Once she gets on the road, she becomes a hazard to someone else. So Officer Zoltek, he made a stop on the snowmobile that's driving by. She had no headlight on. And she also said that she went to the bar down here and then the beer tent. So he was just checking to see for nystagmus in her eyes and make sure that she wasn't intoxicated. So at this point, she was good to go. And there's still issues with the headlight out, and he can't really let her go. So he's going to follow her over to the shore where they're going to be bringing a trailer to pick up that snowmobile. So we just don't want anybody driving around without a headlight out, just in case, for one, safety, you got to have it. So you can't see where you're going. We just don't need anybody crashing into each other, especially because, again, safety is a really big concern out here.
Michigan conservation officers have the authority to enforce general criminal law and frequently do, particularly in rural areas of the state where there may not be as many officers available from state, county, and local law enforcement agencies. Their primary focus, however, is on protecting the state's vast natural resources. As a result, in addition to the laws that cover general criminal matters, COs must also be well-versed in a wide variety of game species that can be found throughout the state, from deer, bear, and elk to fish, grouse, and turkey, as well as small game species and more. COs have a lot of information to retain when it comes to wild animals. In District 3, Officer Tim Roshaki is on patrol during the early elk season that's going on in his area, but also encountering upland bird hunters.
Oh, we got some good wet dogs here this morning. Hey, Poochies. Good, how are you guys today?
Oh, we just getting started?
Yeah?
Yep.
So, how's it been?
Trying to avoid some rain?
Yeah? So, you guys just getting moving right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I screwed my back up.
Did you?
Oh, my hip,
Did you sleep on it bad or what?
Well, I've been struggling with it. I think they're telling me it's sciatic nerve or something. I can barely walk.
So it's perfect. So, very good. So are you guys all from Indiana then?
Yep.
Yeah, so awesome. What brings you all the way up here?
I've been coming up here since '95.
Have you?
Yep.
So whereabouts in Indiana then?
Northeast corner,
Okay.
north of Fort Wayne.
At least you're up north then, so
Yeah.
you're a little bit closer.
Yeah, my brother got me coming up here back in '95 and just love coming up here.
Yeah. It's a beautiful area.
Oh, yeah.
So some good stuff. I saw a lot of flights of woodcock this morning.
Did you?
So, and we've had a lot of woodcock around lately. A lot more woodcock than grouse.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
let's
we
take
haven't
quick
been
peek at
seeing a
licenses.
ton of grouse the
Thank
last
you.
few years, but it's still.
We're on a downward slope right now and have been for a couple of years, so it should really start coming back.
I love coming up here though, just to camping and hanging out.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So good. There's that back. Hey, you guys
Much
are very
appreciated.
welcome. So yeah,
Much appreciated.
So you're very welcome. Thank you, guys.
Salmon are another game species that keep Michigan COs busy during the early fall. When the spawning runs really heat up, some areas of the state have officers on patrol 24 hours a day to monitor the influx of activity that brings anglers from many states and even other countries.
Where are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico. All right. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have your fishing license on you?
In the state's District 4, Sergeant Dan Bigger is observing people who are targeting salmon from a piece of private property where he has permission to be. The landowner has asked him not to offer a lot of leeway towards trespassers.
We've had a lot of problems with people damaging the trees, the lands around it, camping, starting fires, leaving trash. We want to be good stewards to not only the land, but to the landowners that are adjacent to the state lands.
Sergeant Bigger started his shift in the mid-afternoon, and not long after he begins, he runs into a man who's walking where he shouldn't be.
Down that path, there's going to be a bunch of yellow signs that say no trespassing. Did you see those?
I saw yellow signs. I didn't even take the time to read them.
Okay. Those are no trespassing signs. They're all the way up and down the river, both sides. Did you come in this way too?
Yeah.
All right. Is this the same path you took?
Yep.
Okay. So your recreational trespassing right now is the problem.
Okay.
The landowner has contacted us. He posted all the stuff to try and keep the people off his property. At this point, you're like right halfway, so I'll let you continue on this way because that's the way you're going. 'Cause
Okay.
you're right in the center of it.
Okay.
Right. So
What is both sides of the river? So you have to
no,
like,
this
walk-
side here.
Oh, okay.
So are you familiar with how to get around private property at all, or what the?
I know that if you can't pass in the river, like if there's an obstacle, you can go
Right.
on private property, but
Right.
I was unaware that this was private property.
Okay, those yellow signs you missed?
Uh-huh.
Read signs when you're walking through the woods.
This man says he noticed the yellow no trespassing signs, but didn't read them.
The parking is state land, so there's a couple ways you can get down here. One, there's a lower trail, and when you hit the private property, you'll see the signs, you can enter the river and walk. It's about 100, 120 yards long,
Okay.
his property.
Okay.
So it's a decent stretch, but it's not crazy.
Mhm.
When you get out there, you can exit the river and come back up, and it's state land on that side. So his chunk comes right down the center.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can just traverse along the side, or it's shallow enough on that end of his property that you can walk all the way across the river,
Okay.
walk on the land, and then re-enter on the other side if you don't want to walk past all these people that are down there fishing, because I know you'll scare fish and all that stuff, right?
Right, right.
So the best bet is to exit, walk around them.
Okay.
But you have a right to traverse the river even when they're there. They'll probably have to pull their lines in. So those are your two options.
In this case, for engaging in recreational activities while trespassing on private land, this man pled guilty and paid a court-ordered fine of $275. In addition to patrolling anglers and hunters, as well as enforcing general criminal law, Michigan conservation officers also spend much of their time at community events and striving to educate the public. One way to do both is to lend their expertise to students during hunter safety classes. In the state's District 8, Officer Dan Prince is in Livingston County sharing his passion for turkey hunting and offering advice to students on how to be successful while chasing gobblers.
If you are not responsible enough to carry the tag, you shouldn't be carrying the gun. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so you got to carry your own license. Okay, so this is when my boys got wallets. Okay, they got their own wallet. I'm giving you guys information that most people will not share for whatever reason. If you have not been turkey hunting, I encourage you to go, because once you see it work, you'll be hooked. I mean, it's when you see a big longbeard come in to your decoys and you've interacted with it through calling it, it's like shooting a 10-point buck every time. I guarantee it. A good turkey call will have two notes. Yo, 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 yo. When you do it fast, it runs together. But a good turkey call will be able to make that, if you were to really do it slow, will be almost two notes. This call is under $20. Just, you can do clucks with it. Basically, a couple calls that you have to know, okay? And you have to know a yelp. And a yelp is a turkey communicating, where are you? Okay, a hen turkey will yelp. A gobbler will yelp sometimes, okay? They do yelp. It's a real coarse yelp. It's not as many notes, but a hen will yelp in the spring and it says, where are you? And this is all it is. It's this. And when you call, you want to run the different notes together. You just don't yelp, okay? But I'll do it separately, and then I'll go over the couple other notes. So a yelp is just this. That's it. And a cluck is it's a single note, and this call means come here. So it's just this. And a lot of people are like, a lot of first-time hunters are like, well, I don't like to cluck because it sounds like an alarm putt. An alarm putt's different. It is a single note, but a turkey will go, put, put, and that means danger. And then you'll see their head bob and they are gone. To do those notes together is what you want. So you want to do some yelps and clucks together. Turkeys, they have about 5,000 to 6,000 feathers. They leave lots of sign. They're a social bird, and so they leave lots of evidence of where they've been. And so as a turkey hunter, you want to recognize that, key in on those areas where they leave sign, and that's a good place to start. Now that is a turkey gobbler, that is a trophy turkey poop right there. I was excited when I saw that. A hen will typically lay between 8, 12 eggs. This nest had 14. And they lay 1 egg a day. They lay 1 egg a day in that spot until they have a whole clutch of eggs. And at that point, the hen will then incubate the eggs. Once she commits to incubation, she does not leave that nest only for a little bit of time. She does not fly up into the roost. So when a bird incubates like that, that leaves gobblers lonely, okay? And they're really susceptible to calling, really susceptible.
When he's not on duty, CO Prince enjoys turkey hunting tremendously and really wants those in the audience to benefit from his hunting experience.
You're starting to see the ambient blue light. It's just starting to get light. And all of a sudden you hear, and all of a sudden he goes, he's like, he's jumped off the limb and he's flying down the ridge. Boom! And that turkey rolls right in the center. Rolls right in the center. The 2 other birds flush out of there. We're done by 6:19. I mean, I saw a flame come out of that barrel. I was like, whoa, that was spectacular.
Once you get their head tucked, they get real mellow.
In order to do their part to help the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service gather information and maintain their database on waterfowl, the Michigan DNR places leg bands on geese.
But I put the band on.
During a 2 to 3 week period when most of the birds don't have their flight feathers.
Generally from about the middle of June to the end of June. So that's the time of the year when it's easiest to herd them, round them up. And it really is kind of like herding sheep for the flightless birds. It's typical that a few of the birds are gonna become flighted again while we're banding. They may have gotten their flight feathers in a little earlier. So it's not uncommon to lose a few out of the group that we're herding and have them fly away.
It's actually part of a federal database. So even if the animal was banded in another state like Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, you know, really anywhere, that data is basically shared amongst all the states. So even if you're hunting in a different area, you might actually harvest a goose in Michigan that was originally banded or born in a different state.
This process begins days or even weeks before the bands go onto the birds, as DNR personnel do some scouting to determine where bigger flocks of geese are living. As they get closer to the birds, they use lower profile and quieter watercraft.
We use power boats, motorized boats, and jet skis to do our scouting and find out where the geese are. Once we've located where the geese are, kayaks are really our best tool. They're quiet, they're low to the water. They don't put a lot of stress on the bird, and they're easily manipulated by the paddler. So if we can get at least 6, maybe 8 kayakers on the water, we can use those people as a team to basically herd those geese in the direction we want. We don't push them hard.
Besides getting information when these birds are banded, more data is collected months or even years later when someone else encounters one of these geese and shares the details of when and where they came across that particular bird.
One of the great things that can happen with banded geese is if a hunter harvests the animal, they can actually access the information about where the animal was banded and the age of the animal when it was banded. So if you harvest a banded goose, you can actually go on a website and punch in the number that's on the band, and it will give you that information, and there's also a certificate that you can get as well.
The process of banding geese takes excellent coordination and teamwork among the people helping out with the project. Most of those that are participating have done so before and can assist in different ways.
We have a very good crew here today. We've got a good core group of experienced biologists, technicians, and assistants. And those folks have done this year after year for many years.
Glenn does a real good job in the pen. He keeps the geese nice and calm, so when we get them, they're fairly calm and they don't fight too much. And then that gives me a chance to open the cloaca, take a good look inside, see if it's a male or female. And then if you have a really good band opener like Michaela, who opens these bands real even, then I get a nice even closure on the band when I put it around the goose's leg. So those are key things. The other thing is we have a recorder like Brittany over here, and she is keeping track of all the data that we're recording here.
In addition to several employees from the DNR who are working on this operation, there are also some high school students involved.
Oh, this is awesome, dude. I got a goose.
To get an idea of what it's like to have a job with the DNR.
These are 20 high school students from all over the state of Michigan that have an interest in a natural resources career. So we started this program last year called Career Pathways, and we give them an opportunity to spend half a day with each of the major DNR divisions and see what they do on a day-to-day basis.
Through the Career Pathways program, students get an opportunity to observe different careers within the DNR, such as what it's like to be a park ranger or a manager of fisheries or wildlife, as well as jobs within the forestry and law enforcement divisions.
In Wildlife Division, we don't get to interact with live animals very often. A lot of times it's dead animals. We're doing deer check, or we're doing fur bear sealing, or a waterfowl bag check, and all those animals are dead. So when we get to interact with waterfowl, it's really quite rewarding.
Students come in with this preconceived notion, I want to be a conservation officer, I want to be a fisheries biologist. And then they spend all week with all the resource divisions, and when they leave on their evaluations, they'll say, I wanted to be a CO, but I found out how cool forestry is. Or I wanted to be a forester, I found out how cool it was to be a wildlife biologist. So I think it really does help students narrow their search for a university.
The DNR is very grateful to those who allow them to access their property to do this important work.
Whenever we band, we've had great support from our private landowners on Houghton Lake and most of our other water bodies. If anybody ever encounters a DNR person and they say, hey, we're out banding geese today, just know that the birds aren't harmed, the information is very important, and we appreciate it when people allow us to use their lakefront property for an hour or two to band geese. It's very helpful.
Michigan conservation officers must frequently shift gears from one species to another when they're on patrol, especially in the fall when several hunting seasons are running concurrently. The state's District 3 is the only district with elk, as well as one of the primary areas where bears can be found. With the early elk season underway, CO Tim Roshacki knows he could get a call anytime pertaining to that big game species. But currently, he's running into upland bird hunters.
How's hunting for you guys?
Put a few up.
Yeah? Mostly woodcock or a little bit of partridge too? No, that's not bad. You guys just wrapping up at the spot or just getting out?
Hey, where does that road go?
That just goes into a wildlife opening.
Another one.
So.
There's my sharp-tailed grouse.
Okay. You got her early, so you still got the green tags.
I got
woodcock in there.
All
Should
the
be all
above.
there.
So perfect. So thank you.
Yep. Yesterday I got 2 woodcock.
Good.
Put up about, 2 days ago we probably put up 20 birds.
Yeah. How's the season been for you?
So far, so good.
Yeah. Dog looks like she's having fun.
What's that?
Dog's having fun.
Oh, yeah, having a blast.
So
hey, I'm
good.
James.
Tim.
Nice
good
to meet you, Tim.
So perfect. Good. I'm just checking licenses for you.
Cool.
Seeing if you
Yeah,
had
can
anything.
I, I'm going to set this down and dig it out of my pack.
Absolutely.
Here. I had the day off today, so
That's not bad. Where's home for you?
Ow.
Okay.
Yeah. My wife gave me the okay to head on out.
Good for you. You lived down there all your life, or?
Southeast Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. We just moved to Howell in
Gotcha.
July.
I grew up in South Lyon, so
oh, nice.
I know
Yeah.
the area well.
You my ID too?
No, you're all set. So perfect.
In addition to checking upland bird hunters, Officer Roshacki notices an unoccupied truck that piques his curiosity. He notices ammunition in the cab and bait in the bed of the truck. So, CO Roshacki decides to wait for the driver of the truck to return to it. When the brake lights are illuminated on the truck, Officer Roshacki approaches it once again.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. What are you up to today?
I was just baiting my spot out there.
Okay. So sounds good. Any firearms or anything with you?
I do.
You
I
do?
like concealed carry.
Okay, that's it though?
Yeah.
Okay. So, no, I just saw the ammunition and there wasn't any licenses that were registered to you.
Wait, you saw the what?
I saw the ammunition inside. And you don't have any valid hunting licenses that are currently registered to you, so I wasn't sure if you were.
Oh, this is actually a registered.
Are you? Okay, this is your mom. Okay, so
that's my truck.
You're okay. I got you. I wasn't sure what was going on, so it's kind of just by looking up that stuff and seeing everything else in there. So good. No, perfect. Any good sign back there for you? No.
Deer have been weird this year.
They've been goofy. I think it's all the acorns.
Yeah, it's like they just nibble at the corn every now and then, and that's it.
They're full. There's so much other food in the woods. So perfect. No, good. You're all set. So like I said, just the name didn't jive with what I was seeing and with everything in the car. So perfect.
I really should get this truck under my own name.
So, well, you know, if it's yours, right?
Yeah.
So you're squared away, but nothing wrong with that. So perfect. You're all set then. Have a good one. Thank you.